I'm Matt Gross, the Frugal Traveler for the New York Times. This summer, I'm embarking on the grand tour of Europe. Over 12 weeks, I'll seek out ancient history and contemporary culture. I'll find cool hotels and eat memorable meals. And I'll stretch the US dollar to the breaking point. In the summer, Gdansk, Poland's historic seaport on its Baltic coast, is a blur of activity. Among the stately houses dating back 400 years, tourists mill in massive numbers. Buskers play old songs, and newer ones. And every once in a while, something sort of weird happens. This was a performance by Les Sages Fous, a theater troupe from Canada, who, in the middle of Gdansk's medieval Gothic old town, discovered a strange undersea world. Les Sages Fous comes to Gdansk as part of FETA, the International Open Air and Street Theater Festival. It launched in 1997, the year Gdansk turned 1,000 years old, and has been going strong ever since. This year, the theater groups addressed the big issues facing humanity, everything from insomnia to climate change. At least I think the Danish group Luxus was addressing climate change. 6 wedding guests survive a flood that wipes out the entire world and are stuck on a rooftop with nothing but champagne, cakes, and each other. Will the human race survive? Likewise, the group performing Sławomir Brożek's The Emigrants mixed fun with a message.
We are still talking about Polish emigration, about types of emigration, what for we emigrate from Poland, why, etc., etc. Yeah, it's a beautiful environment for street performers.
Unfortunately, I was staying at the Villa Jolanta, a nice apartment house that was nowhere near this beautiful environment. So every morning I had to walk through the wilderness to catch the tram. To get a better view of this beautiful environment, I hiked up Gradowska Mountain and met Jan Daniluk, a history student and guide.
It's a really beautiful view. It's the highest point in natural.
Oh, careful. There was St. Mary's Cathedral, the largest brick church in Europe, and the town hall with its elaborate system of bells. Lovely they may be, but as Jan pointed out, they're not necessarily old.
Unfortunately, the horrible things from the Second World War, Gdansk was destroyed in more than 90%. Almost all of these buildings were reconstructed after the Second World War.
Reconstruction is still going on, especially now that Poland, a member of the European Union, has an economy that's booming. Up here on the hill, Gdansk had just opened its 17th century fortifications to the public.
It was the most important city. It was a Hanseatic city in the past, one of the biggest and the strongest cities in the northeast Europe.
Gdansk's importance on the trade routes also made it an important center for shipbuilding, a tradition it carried on throughout the 20th century. In the 21st, however, that tradition may not survive. The Gdansk shipyards are facing bankruptcy and possible closure, a sad fate for an industry that spawned the Solidarity movement and eventually brought down Polish communism. For a quick history lesson, I checked out the Roads to Freedom exhibition. The exhibit tries to show what life was actually like under communism. Stores had few products, even toilet paper was scarce, and political activists wound up in jail. But in 1980, an electrician named Lech Walesa led a strike of workers at the Gdansk shipyards that finally forced the government's hand. And though it would be 9 more years before Poland held free elections, Walensa's Solidarity movement had knocked serious cracks in the communist system. Today, with all the tourists around, it's hard to see the communist past. In fact, sometimes there are so many tourists, you want to find your own peaceful corner and hide. And so, with directions from Jan, that's just what I did. accompanied by my friends Monica and Gozia.
This church is like how it's built, how it's destroyed.
Maybe, but the alley behind St. John's Church was also beautiful and quiet and just about abandoned. An excellent setting for some street theater. Where were les sages fous when you need them? Dla New York Times, mluvit Mateusz Gross, oszczędny podróżnik.